What if I told you that the most powerful Greek god isn't who you think it is? From thunder-shattering skies to the depths of the underworld, the gods of Mount Olympus controlled every force of the ancient world. But among these immortal beings, only a few truly stood above the rest. Today, we're ranking the top 10 Greek gods by power based on their abilities, legendary battles, and influence over both gods and humans. Some of these rankings may surprise you, so stay with me till the end, because the number 1 spot is absolutely legendary. Let's begin. At number 10 is Hermes, messenger of the gods. Hermes was born in a hidden cave on Mount Selene to Zeus and the nymph Maia. From the very first day of his life, it was clear that he was no ordinary child. Only hours after being born, Hermes climbed out of his cradle and set off on his first adventure. He secretly stole Apollo's sacred cattle and cleverly covered his tracks by making the animals walk backward, confusing anyone who tried to follow them. When Apollo discovered the theft and accused Hermes, the baby god pretended to be innocent. But Zeus saw through the trick and laughed. To make peace, Hermes offered Apollo a gift, a new invention he had just created, the lyre, made from a tortoise shell and strings. When Apollo heard its beautiful music, he was so impressed that he forgave Hermes at once. In return, Apollo gave Hermes a magical staff called the caduceus, which could bring peace and guide souls. Because of his intelligence, speed, and honesty, after learning his lesson, Zeus appointed Hermes as the messenger of the gods. From that day on, Hermes carried messages between Olympus, Earth, and the underworld. Wearing his winged sandals, he traveled faster than the wind. He guided lost travelers, protected merchants, and led souls safely to the afterlife. Hermes became known not only as a messenger, but also as the god of communication, trade, cleverness, and safe journeys. Even today, Hermes remains a symbol of quick thinking, adaptability, and the power of words. At number 9, Aphrodite, goddess of love. Aphrodite was the Greek goddess of love, beauty, desire, and attraction. She was believed to have the power to inspire passion in both gods and humans, shaping relationships, marriages, and even wars. According to the most famous myth, Aphrodite was born from sea foam near the island of Cyprus. When the sky god Uranus was defeated, his remains fell into the sea, and from the white foam, Aphrodite emerged fully grown and breathtakingly beautiful. She was carried to shore on a seashell, welcomed by the gods of Mount Olympus. In other traditions, she was said to be the daughter of Zeus and Dione, showing that different regions of Greece had their own versions of her story. Aphrodite married Hephaestus, the god of fire and craftsmanship, but their marriage was unhappy. She later fell in love with Ares, the god of war, and had several children, including Eros, the god of love. Her influence extended far beyond romance. One of her most famous roles was in the Trojan War. When Paris was asked to choose the fairest goddess, Aphrodite promised him the love of the world's most beautiful woman, Helen of Troy. Paris accepted her offer, leading to the war that would change Greek history. Across ancient Greece, Aphrodite was worshipped in temples, especially in Cyprus, Corinth, and Athens. People prayed to her for love, fertility, and harmony in relationships. More than just a symbol of beauty, Aphrodite represented the powerful force of attraction, the energy that connects people, inspires creativity, and moves the world. Even today, Aphrodite remains one of the most famous figures in mythology. representing love in all its forms, passion, desire, and emotional connection. Number 8. Ares, god of war. Ares was the Greek god of war, violence, and bloodshed. Unlike Athena, who represented strategy and discipline in battle, Ares symbolized the chaotic and destructive side of war rage, aggression, and raw force. He was the son of Zeus and Hera, making him one of the Olympian gods. However, despite his powerful status, Ares was not widely loved by either gods or humans. Even Zeus often criticized him for his reckless and violent nature. Ares thrived on the battlefield. Wherever there was conflict, he was present, accompanied by his sons Phobos, fear, and Deimos, terror, and his sister Enio, the goddess of war. Together they spread panic and destruction among armies. Although fierce, Ares was not always victorious. In many myths he was defeated by smarter opponents, especially Athena, who represented wisdom in warfare. This showed that intelligence often triumphed over brute force. Ares had a famous love affair with Aphrodite, the goddess of love, despite her being married to Hephaestus. When their secret relationship was discovered, the other gods mocked Ares, damaging his reputation even further. One of his most humiliating stories tells how two giants, Otus and Ephialtes, trapped him in a bronze jar for over a year. He would have remained imprisoned if Hermes had not rescued him. In ancient Greece, Ares was respected more than he was worshipped. Few temples were dedicated to him, and many people feared his destructive nature rather than admired it. Ares represented the dark reality of war, the pain, anger, and suffering it brings. Through his stories, the Greeks warned that uncontrolled violence leads to chaos and ruin. Today, Ares remains a symbol of raw power, conflict, and the dangerous side of human ambition. Number 7. Artemis, goddess of the hunt. Artemis was the Greek goddess of the hunt, wilderness, wild animals, and the moon. She was also the protector of young women and children, known for her independence, strength, and fierce sense of justice. She was the daughter of Zeus and Leto and twin sister of Apollo, the god of the sun and music. Even as a child, Artemis showed remarkable skill with the bow and arrow, vowing to remain forever free and untamed, dedicating her life to the wilderness. Artemis spent most of her time roaming forests and mountains with her band of nymphs, hunting deer, and protecting wildlife. Legends tell that she could bring swift punishment to those who harmed animals or disrespected her sacred groves. One famous story is that of Actaeon, a hunter who accidentally saw Artemis bathing. Enraged at this intrusion, Artemis transformed him into a stag, and he was hunted down by his own hounds, a stark reminder of her power and the respect she demanded. Despite her fierce nature, Artemis was also compassionate. She helped women in childbirth and guided young girls into adulthood, embodying a balance of strength, independence, and nurturing care. Artemis remained one of the most revered Olympian deities, representing the wild, untamed spirit of nature and the protection of life. She continues to inspire stories of independence, courage, and respect for the natural world. Wait. Before we proceed to see the other gods, you should take a moment to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up so that the gods mentioned in this video will bring you good tidings. Now let us proceed. At number 6 we have Apollo, god of light and music. Apollo was one of the most important Olympian gods, known as the god of music, light, prophecy, healing, and the sun. He represented harmony, reason, and order, embodying the ideal of beauty and intelligence in Greek mythology. He was the son of Zeus and Leto, and the twin brother of Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. From birth, Apollo was destined for greatness, and his talents were extraordinary. Apollo is often depicted with a lyre, which he played so beautifully that even the gods and muses were enchanted by his music. He was also a master archer, and his arrows could bring sudden death or disease, but he could also heal the sick, making him a god of duality, both destruction and protection. One of his most famous roles was as the prophetic god of Delphi. People from all over Greece traveled to the oracle of Delphi to seek guidance, believing Apollo could reveal the future through his priestess, the Pythia. Apollo's influence extended to arts, culture, and civilization. He inspired poetry, music, and medicine, showing that the pursuit of knowledge and creativity was divine. Despite his perfection, Apollo had human-like flaws. He could be jealous, vengeful, and proud, often punishing those who disrespected him. Yet his myths emphasize the balance between beauty, intellect, and divine power. Apollo remains one of the most celebrated Greek gods, symbolizing light, art, reason, and the guiding force of culture. Number 5. Athena, goddess of wisdom. Athena was the Greek goddess of wisdom, war strategy, courage, and crafts. Unlike Ares, who represented chaotic war, Athena embodied intelligence, planning, and fairness in battle, making her a symbol of rational thought and skill. She was the daughter of Zeus, born in a remarkable and unusual way. According to myth, Athena sprang fully grown and armored from Zeus's forehead after he swallowed her pregnant mother, Metis, the goddess of wisdom. This miraculous birth reflected her role as a goddess of intellect and strategy. Athena was also the protector of cities, most famously Athens, which was named in her honor. She gifted the city the olive tree, symbolizing peace, prosperity, and growth, winning the favor of the people over Poseidon, who offered a saltwater spring. She was often depicted with her shield, spear, and the aegis, a protective cloak adorned with the head of Medusa. Athena was also the mentor of many heroes, including Odysseus, Perseus, and Hercules, guiding them with her wisdom and courage. Unlike many other gods, Athena valued justice, skill, and intelligence over raw power. She represented the idea that true strength comes from knowledge, strategy, and careful planning. Athena remains one of the most revered Greek deities, symbolizing wisdom, courage, and the art of war with honor, inspiring generations of leaders, thinkers, and creators. At number 4, Hades, god of the underworld. Hades was the Greek god of the underworld and the dead, ruling over the realm where souls went after death. He was the son of Cronus and Rhea, and the brother of Zeus and Poseidon. While Zeus ruled the sky and Poseidon the seas, Hades claimed the underworld, ensuring balance in the universe. Though often feared, Hades was not evil. He was a stern but fair ruler, maintaining order among the dead and preventing the living from entering his realm without permission. He carried a bident, a two-pronged staff, and sometimes wore the helm of darkness, which made him invisible. One of the most famous myths about Hades is his abduction of Persephone, the daughter of Demeter, goddess of the harvest. Hades fell in love with her and brought her to the underworld to be his queen. Her mother's grief caused the earth to stop producing crops, leading to the first winter. Eventually, a compromise was reached. Persephone would spend part of the year with Hades in the underworld and part with her mother on earth, explaining the changing seasons. Hades' stories show that death and the afterlife were respected and feared by the ancient Greeks. but also that even the underworld was governed by rules and fairness. Despite his fearsome domain, Hades played a crucial role in maintaining cosmic order. Today, Hades symbolizes death, the unseen, and the balance between life and the afterlife, making him one of the most important Olympian gods. At number 3 on this list is Poseidon, god of the sea. Poseidon was one of the most powerful Greek gods, ruling over the oceans, seas, and all waters. He was the son of Cronus and Rhea and the brother of Zeus and Hades. While Zeus controlled the sky and Hades the underworld, Poseidon commanded the waters of the world, shaping storms, tides, and earthquakes. Poseidon is famously depicted carrying a trident, a three-pronged spear capable of creating storms, shattering rocks, and shaking the earth. Sailors prayed to him for safe voyages, but his temper could bring shipwrecks, floods, and natural disasters if angered. One of the most well-known myths involving Poseidon is his rivalry with Athena over the patronage of Athens. Poseidon struck the ground with his trident, creating a saltwater spring, or in some versions a horse, while Athena offered the olive tree. The people chose Athena's gift, showing that wisdom and peace outweighed raw power. Poseidon also fathered many children, including Triton, a merman, and Pegasus, the winged horse, reflecting his connection to both the sea and horses. He was known for his passionate and often impulsive nature, which brought both creation and chaos. As a deity, Poseidon symbolized the power and unpredictability of nature, reminding the Greeks of the respect and awe owed to the seas. Even today, he remains a symbol of strength, storms, and the mysterious depths of the ocean. At number 2, Hera, queen of the gods. Hera was the Greek goddess of marriage, family, and women, and the wife of Zeus, making her the queen of the gods. She was the daughter of Cronus and Rhea, and one of the 12 Olympians who ruled Mount Olympus. Hera was known for her strength, dignity, and protective nature, especially toward married women. However, she was also famous for her jealousy, because Zeus was often unfaithful. Many myths describe her anger toward his lovers and children, showing both her power and her fierce sense of justice. One famous story is about Hercules, the son of Zeus and the mortal woman, Alcmene. Hera hated Hercules and tried to stop him from surviving and achieving greatness. Yet, despite her schemes, Hercules became one of Greece's greatest heroes, highlighting that even Hera's immense power had limits. Hera was often depicted with a crown and scepter, and her sacred animal was the peacock, symbolizing her beauty, pride, and watchfulness. She was worshipped in many cities, especially Argos and Samos, where women prayed to her for happy marriages, fertility, and family protection. Hera represents the power and dignity of marriage, as well as the challenges of jealousy and authority. As the queen of Olympus, she maintained balance among the gods and reminded mortals of the importance of loyalty, respect, and family bonds. The number 1 and the most influential god of Greek mythology is Zeus, king of the gods. Zeus was the supreme god of ancient Greek mythology, ruler of Mount Olympus, and god of the sky, thunder, and justice. He was the son of Cronus and Rhea, and the youngest of his siblings, including Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Demeter, and Hestia. When Cronus feared being overthrown by his children, he swallowed them at birth. But Zeus was saved by his mother, Rhea, who tricked Cronus by hiding the baby and giving him a stone to swallow instead. Once grown, Zeus led a rebellion against Cronus and the Titans, defeating them and establishing the Olympian gods as the new rulers of the world. Zeus wielded the thunderbolt, a powerful weapon capable of striking fear into gods and mortals alike. He was known for his strength, wisdom, and fairness, as well as his temper, which could bring storms, lightning, and punishment to those who disobeyed him. Zeus was also famous for his many affairs with goddesses and mortal women, fathering numerous children, including Athena, Apollo, Artemis, Hermes, Perseus, and Hercules. Despite his flaws, he was revered as a protector of law, order, and justice, ensuring balance among gods and humans. Zeus represents authority, power, and leadership, and as the king of the gods, he ruled over both the heavens and the earth, maintaining the natural and divine order of the world. And there you have it, the top 10 Greek gods ranked by power. From Zeus, the king of Olympus, to Hermes, the clever messenger, each god played a unique role in shaping ancient Greek mythology and culture. Which Greek god is your favorite? Or do you think someone else should have topped the list? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this journey through Olympus, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a dive into history and mythology. Thanks for watching, and remember, these stories of gods, heroes, and legends continue to inspire the world today. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of ancient mythology.